It's time to pick a side. The border war is on the air with BG and TanMan.
Many Christmases ago, I went to buy a doll for my son. I reached for the last one they had, but so did another man. As I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way. What happened to the doll? It was destroyed. But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 89 is finally here. The Festivus episode that we have been plugging for weeks upon weeks. I am the TanMan. I am joined in studio by BG. And we are here to air all of our grievances.
The question is,
related.
Can both of us air all of our grievances in 45 minutes? Is it possible?
I think 45 minutes might be pushing it, but we can squeeze in a whole bunch of them.
There you go.
There we go.
I've got a lot.
I've got a lot. I trimmed my list down to a manageable number.
I did.
Before we came in here. But trust me, there are plenty. We've got a special guest. My daughter has decided she has a sports-related grievance and she wanted to be on the air. So before we get into it, I give you the floor. What is your grievance that you just had to let the people know about?
Clappy McClappy Pants of the Cowboys coach.
Clappy McClappy Pants from the Cowboys coach. What is it about him that grinds your gears?
All he does is clap when Cowboys stink.
There you go.
And she's not even a Cowboys fan?
No, she doesn't like the Cowboys. I agree with you.
It's almost as if he's clapping because he's not sure what else to do.
That's a grievance too.
All right, so before we get too far into this, I did want to explain to everybody that TanMan and I have not put these grievances we have jotted down in any particular order. There are probably grievances that both of us will think of later that we left off. Now we know, though, that this is going to be an annual thing. We'll be ready with our grievances big time come next year. And if something occurs to you guys, we got some pretty good feedback from listeners about their grievances. Not all of those are going to make it onto the show because, frankly, our grievances matter more to us than yours do. But if you think of something,
we agreed with a lot of them.
We agreed with a lot of them, and we just duplicated some of them. But we did get really good response via email from that. But if you think of something in July that's really, getting on your nerves in the world of sports, go ahead and let us know then. Just don't tweet it to us because we don't see everybody see it.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of defeats the point. But we'll save them up.
Start us off, BG. Give us a grievance.
All right.
Grievance number 1 of the Festivus episode of 2018.
Football teams whose jerseys and helmets are slightly different shades of their team colors. Minnesota Vikings, perfect example.
Yes.
The helmet is purple. The jersey is purple. They're just not the same color purple.
The Bears are mad about that.
And it drives me nuts. It's stupid. And I feel like sometimes, I'm glad we talked about this before. Sometimes I feel like no one else can see it.
No, I agree.
It drives me crazy.
But it's like white helmets are like that too. Like white
Even
helmets.
white helmets.
White helmets are never the same shade of white as a uniform.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the plastic, but
maybe
all through the colors.
Maybe it's the TV. I don't know. They show it in some light and it looks fine, and other lights it looks like you have a beige helmet and a white shirt.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I agree with you. Here we go. There you go. My grievance, first grievance I'll throw out there. What about in baseball?
I know what you're going to say.
No. I've got several baseball.
I do have a lot of baseball
But
ones.
what about strike 3 getting away from the catcher? All right, and then you just get to run to first base. What is that? You struck out. You swung and struck out. Why do you get a base?
And it's just on strike 3.
It's just on strike 3.
You can drop strike 1. Nobody's on base. Now, I get that the guys on base can advance. I get that. But no, you're right. You struck out. Sit down.
Like the guy throws it 9 foot off the plate, and I just wail around out there, and the catcher can't get within 2 arms lengths of it, but I get a base for that.
You're right. That's stupid. I agree with you. How about this? And I mean, this one's an easy one, but it popped into my head. Sports teams who move and keep a mascot that makes 0 sense for them after the move. I'm talking to you, Utah Jazz. There are teams like the LA Lakers that people don't even realize don't make sense because it sounds great.
Well, they've won so many titles.
Right.
That
but they originally came from Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes. Okay. The Los Angeles Dodgers, one that a lot of people don't realize, they were the Brooklyn Dodgers, and the Dodger part referred to running across the street with the streetcars coming in the 1900s.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and dodging to get to Ebbets Field. Okay, it makes no sense in L.A. Good luck dodging on those interstates. I mean, maybe in your cars.
But what about the Tennessee Oilers for that year?
That 1 year,
a lot of oil drilling going on in Nashville, right?
And again. And then, the flip side of that, people say, well, they came up with something equally stupid just because it started with a T. But nothing's as stupid as the Tennessee Oilers. and on a side note, there may be nothing I miss in the NFL more than the Houston Oilers in those helmets. Loved them. Loved those uniforms.
Something about the light blue and the light blue and the red uniforms.
Yeah, they looked just great. Classic look. Yeah.
Here you go. What about you have to be quiet when you go watch a tennis match or a golf match? Like, I can go to a football game
and scream.
I can sit courtside at a basketball game and scream for hours if I want to. But because a grown man making millions of dollars needs complete silence to hit a tennis ball, I can scream at a baseball game.
How about free throws in basketball? You're telling me that requires less concentration?
Right. In baseball, a man can sit up there and he's trying to hit a pitch going 100 miles an hour from 60 feet away.
A round hard ball with a round bat.
And you can scream and make noise and bang pots and pans or whatever, but you cannot make a sound if Roger Federer is about to serve.
Good point.
What is this?
I've never thought about that, but but that goes to your point. We just accept it because it's become the norm. But why? Why is it the norm? I mentioned free throws on purpose. I really am tired of basketball players, professional basketball players especially, who can't shoot free throws. It drives me crazy. And it's not just because I think they should be able to. What really frustrates me is just its lack of practice. I mean, those are, know this, man, you can make a living shooting free throws. Getting fouled, playing defense, shooting free throws. In the NBA today, you can make a living because there are so few players that are really great at it. It makes no sense to me. Why are you not in the gym practicing that? And I don't understand the tolerance for it. I don't understand why.
It's just okay. He's
just
not a good free throw shooter, and we just dismiss it. I'm with you.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
Now, what about this? What about the waiting periods for Hall of Fames?
Yeah,
like
that's it. What 5 years?
What is this? What magically happens in 5 years that now we can decide? Oh, now Cal Ripken is a Hall of Famer.
We're not sure if Tom Brady belongs in the Hall of Fame. Give us 5 years.
We got to think about this. They're not taking another snap. They're not throwing another pitch. They're not making another shot. What are we waiting for?
Because it's not as if one person's putting them in there. There's still a vote.
There's a vote.
And you're right.
What are we waiting for?
You're right. It makes no sense. I've never thought about that.
And you always hear the phrase, the day he retires, he'll walk into Canton. No, actually it won't. He has to wait.
Right, 5 years. I mean, why not make it, why not make it 3 years and 17 days? That's just as arbitrary. Why 5?
Yeah.
Why not 1? Why not?
Say, okay, you have to be away from the game 1 year, maybe 2 to make sure you're not going to have
If I became commissioner, I make you this promise. If I make the commissioner's job in any of the 3 major sports, I'm going to change it to 19 minutes. You have to wait at least 19 minutes before you can put someone in the Hall of Fame. Would you be okay with that?
As soon as Tom Brady finishes his press conference and makes it to his car,
he at least needs to shower.
And once he's off the premises, he should be eligible.
Well, you can't tell me that we're okay with putting somebody in the Hall of Fame before 19 minutes go by. You got to wait 19 minutes.
As I say, that should be gracious plenty of time to do the media circus, take a shower, and get in your car and go away. Once you're off the premises, you're eligible.
I'm just saying, he's only going to have 6 or 7 Super Bowl rings. We're going to need to think about it a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, how about this? I don't even know if this is what it's called. Bonus time in soccer. What the hell?
You're reading my mind. What is stoppage time?
Stoppage time.
What is stoppage time?
I mean, I can explain to you what it's supposed to be, but it drives me crazy that I don't know. It doesn't bother me as much as I'm acting like, you know why? Because I'm not watching it. but
I looked this up, and according to like the FIFA definition,
anytime the game stops,
because the clock doesn't stop,
the clock doesn't stop,
and so there's a referee that keeps time,
a secondary clock
on his person, and no one in the stadium has any idea of what, and then they just play, and he just randomly says 7 minutes and 15 seconds that are left in this game.
In theory, and I don't know the answer to this, if you're a fan and you're sitting with your cell phone in the stands, could you basically approximate how much? I mean, because it seems like to me, without some kind of system to it, it's a system that's asking for abuse.
And they do. According to what I've found, they abuse it pretty regularly.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of things about soccer, but that's probably the biggest head scratcher of them all for me.
All right. We'll go with another rule here. Jerry from Atlanta got this one into us, and I think it might have to do. Didn't the Braves lose a game or a playoff game like this a few years ago? The infield fly rule. I grew up all my life watching baseball. You did too.
Yeah.
Until like 3 days ago when I got this email from Jerry. I looked it up. I said, okay, I don't really even know what this is. I looked it up. I think it's kind of a good rule, to be honest with you. The purpose, the intent behind it was to keep guys from dropping pop-ups and forcing double and triple plays and basically just calling the batter out right then and there. It's only supposed to be used, I guess, in those situations. So if there's nobody on base, there's no reason for an infield fly call.
But you're right.
I was always, I guess because I was too lazy to look it up. No, Jerry, I disagree with Jerry. I think the infield fly rule is a good thing. If you want a triple play in baseball, you want it to be natural.
It came about because of that.
Right. You want those things to be natural, not forced upon because a shortstop's purposely dropping a foul ball. But thanks, Jerry. Thanks for chiming in.
All right. I don't want to do two soccer ones in a row, but I will since you brought up an email. I will bring up an email. This one's from Alan in Lexington, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. All right.
What's up, Alan?
People who lie around the World Cup time and act like they actually watch soccer.
Oh.
People that act like they're watching it otherwise, and they're not just watching the World Cup. I'm taking Alan's opinion and making it my own here, but I get what he's saying. And sort of preach to you about I love soccer. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't love soccer. Stop it.
Wait, off topic. In addition to that, this wasn't on my list. But what about the guys that walk around America, all right, in the United States, and try and talk to you about Champions League soccer?
I don't even know what Champions League soccer is.
It's the European Soccer League.
I thought they all, like each country, had their own league. They don't.
I don't know.
I mean,
but the Champions League is like the big league. And the only thing
that's
they have
like
right,
Manchester United.
Yeah,
okay.
The only thing that they have right is the relegation system. If you stink, they bump you down to another group.
No, I do love that.
I love that part. Uh-huh. The NFL and all professional leagues,
the NBA
should do that.
That's who needs that.
But come on, dude. You are not walking around watching. I can't even pronounce the names of these teams in here.
I'm okay with legitimate soccer fans. If there's a guy that gets up at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning and wants to watch it, I'm fine with that. I'm even fine with him telling me about it. What I think Alan is talking about here are the fakers.
The ones that pop up.
They only show up at World Cup time because it feels fun to act like that's part of your life, and it's not.
Now, what about this one? This guy drives me insane. Okay, the every week is a playoff guy in college football. Every week is not a playoff.
Yeah.
If Clemson can lose to Syracuse and Alabama can lose to Auburn and not play in their conference, then every week is not a playoff.
True enough.
It's not.
There's a lot of really dumb things that, get said about the college football playoff and about the regular season and blah, blah, blah. And we'll obviously get into that on another show. But I got a feeling you're going to see a lot of really crazy opinions come out as this 8-team playoff starts to get discussed. I'll just go ahead and teaser. The college football regular season is not in danger anytime soon.
Come on, BG, give us another one. We're on a roll.
Let's see where I'm at here on my list. Going right down. All right. This is one of mine. The NFL slowly but surely giving, and there's a lot of things they've done to make offense more prevalent. This particular one frustrates me. Receivers just getting free releases off the football. I want cornerbacks to be able to come up inside of 5 yards and absolutely maim a receiver. And you think about it. They're not high-impact hits, right? There's no concussion risk. That's a great way to give defenses some of their power back, to keep some old-school football, to make the – you remember in the 90s, man, the lockdown corner was the position in the NFL. Corners are an off-thought now. Everything's about the safeties because, God help you, you better have somebody that can come up because the middle just belongs to the offense. They can do anything over the middle they want to. You can't tackle them. You can't hit them. There's a space between their belly button and their waistline where you can hit them, and other than that, everything's off limits.
Well, and then they crouch down, so that space that might be a couple feet, this square might be a couple feet, turns down like 6 inches.
And I'm willing to admit there's nothing really all that funny about that, and it's really specific, but that's the thing that bugs me, and it seems like to me it's something the NFL could let defenses have back that wouldn't cost them any bad press. Nobody's getting a concussion by having their shoulder pads jacked into their face right off the line of scrimmage.
They want the points, though, man.
That's what it's about, and I get it.
That's all it's about.
I get it.
There you go. What's the average age of a baseball manager, BG?
Average?
Just off the top of your head, what's an average age for a baseball manager?
I'm going to say
60?
57.
All right.
Yeah.
Why is that man wearing a baseball uniform?
It's silly.
Why is he wearing a?
He looks childish.
Why is a 65-year-old man who is 100 pounds?
And why is he not a coach? Why is he a manager?
That's a good point.
Why did they get a weird name?
That's a good point. But you tell me why.
Now, in high school, they call them coaches, right?
In high school, they're coaches. In college, they're coaches.
That's right.
But in professional baseball,
They
they're managers.
manage.
But why are you wearing a uniform?
You don't need to be. I can still see Leo Mazzoni's gut pushing against that.
Man, look,
Showalter.
Bobby Cox, God bless him, he was one of the greats.
He's a big boy.
Put on a pair of like jogging pants and a sweatshirt like Joe Madden does, and go on out there. Now I'm not saying wear a suit or you could wear a polo, I guess, if you wanted.
Maybe it's to be fair though, just devil's advocate. Is it because they're sitting in a dugout? I mean, like they're down there with the players. I mean, I think a polo and a pair of khakis probably still works though.
Thank you.
But it would look weird now. It'd look weird.
It would look weird at first, but not any weirder than the guys wearing sweatshirts.
I would love to know how that started versus why it didn't start in any other sports. Is it because you know what? I bet it is.
Player manager.
I bet that's what I was going to say. I bet back in the day they were all players. I bet you that's what it is.
Well, they're not players now, man. Get out of a uniform.
I agree with you. All right, let's see. I have Reed from Newberry, South Carolina. This one's funny to me because I actually have thought about this before, but I didn't think of it for this show. He is sick of college recruits on Twitter feeling like they have to say they're, quote, blessed to receive an offer. He says in the email, he said, quote, it's just like how every Chick-fil-A employee has to say my pleasure. He said it's dishonest because it's always the same phrase, so you know it's mandatory. Right?
I'm blessed to receive my 19th offer from Oregon State.
I mean, my thing, and I don't have a problem with them showing gratitude, even if it isn't real gratitude, but just say thank you. Say something else other than blessed.
They've got a form, a form tweet that they just
and it feels like it means nothing because of that. I agree with Reed.
No, I agree. He hit the nail on the head, man. He hit the nail on the head. What about this one? What about shootouts? In soccer, they have shootouts. In hockey, they have shootouts. If there are two sports,
where they don't have it though,
ties,
hunting.
Is hunting a sport?
Yes, hunting. You don't see a lot of shootouts. You get a lot of trouble for that. I just thought it was funny. Move on.
I was gonna say, man, it went right over my head. I'm sorry. Ruined the whole joke.
Get it like shootouts.
I got it.
You got a gunshot sound on there?
I used to, but I took it off to add the doo-doo sound.
Really? You took? Okay, wow.
But it wasn't like a gun. It was more like a laser, like a space laser.
Can I add the doo-doo sound to my list of grievances? I'm sick of it. Go ahead.
What shootouts? I mean, what is it? You play an entire... Look, just have the tie, man. And I didn't used to be the tie guy. But
you get into the same
just have
argument
a
with
tie.
every kind of overtime in football. Like what?
In
Just
college
keep
football,
keep-
overtime is there too.
Keep playing the same game you played. I mean,
Right.
there are defenses that don't work well inside the 20. I mean, putting the ball on the 20-yard line kind of screws those teams over. Like even the NFL's rule where they do keep playing, the only thing I don't agree about that, just get rid of the clock, man. Just get rid of the clock until somebody scores a touchdown. Don't even go for a field goal. No field goals. Somebody's got to score a touchdown, and we'll be here till 3 in the morning.
So you're just talking about playing indefinitely.
Well, no, you could do that. You could keep the rules exactly the same. You can kick a field goal, then the other team gets the ball. But if they keep going back and forth, scoring, then we're going to play.
I like the new NFL overtime rules where a touchdown ends it, but if you kick field goals, then we'll play. Until it's. But at some point, they just cut it off and go, okay, we're done.
No, the fans would be free to leave, but we're going to keep playing.
Yeah, we're done.
You can put Heidi on the television. You don't have to keep
shootouts in soccer. And in soccer, here's the thing: in soccer, you're guarding a goal. How big's the soccer goal?
Man,
40
it's
feet?
like
You're just guessing.
Yes,
You are literally the
because
goalie.
you can't react.
You can't react. They put the ball 10 feet from your face. All you're doing is just guessing a side. That's it, man.
It's time to guess a side.
It's time, man.
Should
pick
we
a
change
side.
that? Should we change that?
Pick a side.
All right, let's see what we've got here. This one just kind of popped into my head sitting here, but playing off of Reed's email from Newberry there. College football recruiting today is, the new national signing day. Basically, I think everybody South Carolina is getting is signing today.
75% of the recruits sign on
it's a done deal.
Now.
I'm kind of getting tired of college football recruiting in general. I get why the teams do what they do. I get why we bring them to Columbia and put them in uniforms. There's a whole thing now where teams are putting their dads in uniforms and make brochures and hang banners up. I get all this, but I'll be honest with you. There's a part of it that makes me kind of sick to my stomach, especially knowing there are obviously exceptions, quite a few of them in some sports, but especially knowing that the vast majority of these kids are woefully inadequate from a student standpoint, can't read, can't write, I'm kind of tired of it.
It's gotten to be too much.
I wonder, I'm dead serious. I wonder in 10 years if I'm really going to care one way or the other about college football. I'm getting tired of it.
I mean,
I'm getting tired of it.
I can see it because I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of – if you would have known me 10 years ago, like I was all into college football, neck deep, every weekend from noon to midnight. And now, I'll turn the game on, I'll watch some – but I'm not into it like I used to.
And while there are a lot of things that a lot of people, especially around in our part of the world, don't like about the National Football League, I'm becoming more and more – not a Redskins fan per se because that's just whatever, but –
Cowboys fan?
No, shut up. But more of a, see if this makes sense, a general NFL fan, just following the league.
Definitely.
Because I love that the bad teams deserve to be bad. They've made bad decisions. They've missed on evaluations. They're not bad because they can't talk kids into coming to play for them.
Yeah.
Or let's just say it, they're not paying people to come play for them. Because that's going on all over the place.
Well, speaking of
all over the place.
Rhonda in Seneca chimed in on Facebook earlier.
Seneca always makes me think about apple juice. As soon as I hear it makes
her grievance was simply Alabama.
That's a really good one.
They had nothing particular, just their existence, just Alabama.
I remember we were in Gatlinburg about 5. It was do you remember the week Marcus Lattimore was hurt playing Mississippi State, I believe, the week before?
I do.
And Brandon Wilds was a freshman. And we were playing at Tennessee.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be the weekend my school had fall break. My wife and I took the two boys up there for a long weekend. And I wore my Gamecock stuff because we were good back then, and I wanted people to know I was a Gamecock. And I suppose that all the Alabama fans who saw me assumed I was wearing an Alabama shirt just because of the color. And the number of people, overweight and smelly, that screamed Roll Tide. And maybe they thought that I was a Gamecock fan, and they didn't like us either.
I thought most Gamecock fans were Alabama fans this time of year.
According to Clemson, that it has nothing to do. That's actually a grievance of mine, too, now that I think about it. That Clemson fans who think we actually pull for Alabama as opposed to we just don't want
don't
you
like
to
you.
win.
Yeah.
Why do you not understand that? Continue.
Hit us up, BG. Give us another one.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, it's
I
your
just
turn.
talked for a long time. I didn't even breathe. All right, this is. I'll do another one of mine. Steph Curry.
That's interesting because
I'm
one of mine was LeBron James.
Really?
Yeah.
One of my grievances is people who don't like LeBron
Well, I
James.
didn't say I didn't like him. I'm just saying.
I know what you're going to
Like
say.
he's everywhere. Like my 6-year-old asked me the other week, "Does LeBron James play for every team?"
Yeah.
Like the NBA is loaded with talent and marketable stars. And
You're right. Everything is about
everything
LeBron.
is about LeBron.
I'm just sick of watching Steph Curry chew on his mouthpiece. And I mean, I don't have a problem with the fact that he screams curse words during games. I have a problem with the fact that he does that and everybody acts like he's got angel wings and that he's this great guy. And I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing that goes on with Dabo, and I'm not going to even get into that. I've got another.
Yeah, I say
another 51
shows.
That's
a whole other show.
We could do a whole show on my feelings about the Dabo cult, but I'm just tired of Steph Curry's attitude. I'm tired of, and then him playing it off like he's this great guy who does funny ESPN commercials. I mean, more power to him for doing it, but I don't know why anybody buys it.
There you go. About 20 conference game schedules in basketball and college basketball. The Big Ten is at 20 conference games now. The ACC is going to 20 conference games next year. You only play, 29 regular season games before you start hitting the conference tournaments and things. Why are you playing 20 conference games? That robs us of what that's going to ultimately do.
North Carolina, Kentucky.
It's going to ultimately rob you of great non-conference matchups for the big schools. And it's because they're going to go, listen, we need to get
and there's
wins.
a lot of places like Clemson and South Carolina where that game's going to happen still too. So you're not going to see unique matchups.
Right. And the other thing it is come tournament time, there's going to be these schools from, say, the Missouri Valley Conference. Take Illinois State. They were the latest one that has a grievance about getting left out last year. They had like 28 wins. These schools, they already have a hard time getting these bigger schools to play them. If these bigger schools and conferences are going to go to 20 games, then these mid-major schools have no chance to get quality wins because the schedules are going to be filled up with conference games. Too many. 16 is the perfect number.
All right, this one's from Jerome, also in Lexington, but this time Lexington, South Carolina, not Lexington, Kentucky. This is a good one. People that think good college teams can beat an NFL team.
No chance.
It's absurd.
No chance.
It's absurd.
I don't even know why.
He's exactly right. No, it's not a debate.
I don't even know why it's even a discussion every year. No, Alabama could not beat. They could not beat the Oakland Raiders. No.
Can I go ahead and do another one because this is related?
Sure.
People that think, like every time a team, this is just off the top of my head, that every time a team loses, they quote suck. Right? That's. I've heard it about the Patriots, man. Oh, they suck, man. They're the worst. No, they don't. They're professional NFL athletes. Like they're bad, like the Charlotte Hornets or the Bobcats. Go back. They would school you. Yeah, like a good Kentucky or North Carolina national championship team versus the worst team the Bobcats ever had. Please. Stop.
Well, I'll say this. If there's one sport...
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Maybe basketball is a little more comparable.
Because there's only 5 kids on the court.
There's only 5 kids on the
court. So
court.
one good player's worth a lot more.
And let's face it, if you're a really bad NBA team, you've probably got kids who are supposed to still be in college, right?
Sure.
So I think the playing field is a little more even. But in the
football,
NFL, man, there's no chance. They stand no chance. But this one. Basketball courts with the designs stained into the floor. Like the New Orleans Pelicans have the Pelican logo stained inside the three-point line.
So it's just a wood stain color.
It's just like a wood stain color. The city skylines are along the bottom of the court.
I want some color on the court.
Yeah, I love a plain court. Get creative.
Well, the flip side of it is I'll add a really, really busy court. I don't like those either.
No, but stop putting the city designs along the bottom of the court.
I'm not crazy about the Hornets when they put the hive marks everywhere.
You don't like the honeycomb?
I'm not crazy about it.
Oh, no, man. The Hornets court's one of the best courts in the league.
Normally, but I don't like the honeycomb. They don't always have the honeycomb.
No, they've started doing the throwback court now.
Yeah. I like the throwback court better, I think. All right, let's see. I'm all over the place here. Note cards flying everywhere. It is my turn, right?
It's your turn.
All right,
Air
let's
the
see.
grievances.
How about this one? The NBA's lack of ability to create any kind of parity in that league at all. Like right now, we're what? Not quite, we're nowhere near halfway through the season.
Not
we're
quite
like,
halfway.
Yeah, not quite halfway. So many leagues, so many teams just out of it. And you could say the same thing in Major League Baseball, really. In fact, it's probably worse in Major League Baseball. It just feels like the NBA has a better chance to fix it because of what we just talked about. How many players are on an NBA team?
Yeah.
2 good players make a huge difference. I mean, I don't know what the answer is, and I
don't know what you can do
I do
there.
think Adam Silver is a little more proactive than other commissioners have been in the past, but it's just the players almost have too much power in the NBA.
Listen, if the NBA wants to fix something, why don't they start with traveling? Did you see James Harden the other night?
I did.
Like
That's absurd.
5 steps, man. The referee's right there in front of you. NBA officials, if you're listening, please start calling traveling.
Yeah.
Just please. Okay.
Because it's been a joke for years, and sometimes people, to be fair, a lot of people don't understand the third step rule.
Yeah, I mean,
You get that third step if you launch off that foot, but I know I saw that.
If you want to
and it
give
was
the guy,
ridiculous.
if you want to give a guy 3 steps, fine. I've seen LeBron James go from 3-point line to the basket and never take a dribble. I get that he's superhuman at times, but he's not coming. He's not coming from the 3-point line to the basket, 26 feet, 28 feet, or whatever it is, in 2 steps. It ain't happening.
Let me ask you this: how many NBA players that are not point guards go entire games without putting the ball on the court?
Klay Thompson only takes like 5 dribbles a game.
Right. It's just not a thing anymore.
No, but James Harden is the world's worst, man. Start calling traveling, please. We are begging you.
This one is from Brian in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
People that you don't know at games. This is good. People that you don't. I'm trying to get it phrased right here. People you don't know at games. I guess he means games you're attending.
Right.
That immediately start trying to talk to you the entire time. Like you're sitting beside them, I guess, and they want to be your best friend.
Like, okay, man. Look, I'm cool with the high fives. If a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
play
no, high
happens.
fives are good. High fives are good.
High fives are good. I've told you my victory chocolate story. It's not one of my prouder moments. But don't be that guy. All right, don't be that guy.
God, it's still one of the strangest things I've ever.
Hey, and I didn't think twice about it, man. I didn't think twice about it. I just popped that piece of chocolate in my mouth.
In case you're wondering what happened, TanMan had an exuberant fan after a victory share some victory chocolate.
That's
with
what
him.
he called it,
And it
victory
was
chocolate.
not until afterwards he questioned whether or not he
No,
had
my-
been wise and
My brother asked me, he goes,
said chocolate.
He said, "Is your chocolate wrapped?" I'm like, now that you mention it, I don't think so.
Oh, it reminds me of the time a student brought me a corn dog, which had been in their book bag. It was not wrapped in foil, and I told them I would eat it later.
Here we go. Will from Raleigh, he emailed us in. His grievance is the college basketball possession arrow.
That's a stupid rule.
Why arbitrarily, if you make a good play and you get a tie up and you're trying to fight for the ball for your team, the NBA they go to a tip. So why, if you've got the arrow, why can't I just maul you to tie the ball up?
And when we're going to when we're going to call possession arrow, why do we still call it a jump ball?
Right.
It's not a jump ball.
Go to the circles and jump. And if a center is jumping up against the point guard, then let the chips fall where they may.
There is no way anybody can explain that rule to me.
The
You're
college
right.
basketball possession arrow needs to go.
You're absolutely right. All right, here's a good one. I want to make sure I get this one in. This one's one that started to annoy me today. The, quote, demand excellence crowd in Gamecock Nation. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of these people that act like the reason South Carolina football, basketball, baseball, whatever, is not experiencing Clemson-like, Georgia-like, heck, if you want to say basketball, North Carolina like success in sports, is because our fans, our board of trustees, don't demand that we are better. Now, here's my answer to that. I do agree you have to do that in some cases. But Gamecock fans need to be honest with themselves about the fact that mediocre isn't even a real word to describe the history of our sports in Columbia. Pathetic is a better answer. Okay,
how can you demand something that you've never attained?
Well, here's what I'm saying. If people have a problem, for example, with the fact that Will Muschamp in his first 3 years won more games than Steve Spurrier did in his first 3 years, but they want to fire him anyway. Okay, and they act like, my analogy was this. I posted this on Gamecock Central today. You can take an 8-year-old. Let's take your daughter. We can take your daughter into the gym, and we can say, we demand that you dunk the basketball. You'd be smarter, however, to focus on her progress. If she's making progress, if year by year we're shooting better, we're coming closer to the rim, then we're making progress towards that dunk. You can demand all you want, but the fact of the matter is that she's 3 feet tall and she's not going to dunk right now.
Not going to dunk.
And that's South Carolina athletics. We're not going to win a national title anytime soon. So you better content yourself with some stability. And if you say that means I'm settling, whatever. 125 years, and we've only gotten above 500 in football in the past 6. You tell me.
Speaking of college football, here's my grievance with college, and we've talked about this before. Preseason college football polls. Number one, the first poll should not come out until October 1st. All right? Because too many times they send these polls out, and this is the list. This is the impenetrable list. If you're not like in the top, what would you say, top 10 when the first poll comes out, you have almost zero chance of
the poll doesn't need to exist until, I'd say, what did you say, week 5,
right.
Week 4?
You stick a team at number 4 in the poll, and they, as long as they win, no matter how bad they look, as long as they stay with it, they're probably going to be in the national championship hunt. And teams that start unranked, they have almost no chance to get up there. And while we're on it, listen, please stop making a big deal about these first weekend of college football games.
Oh, yeah.
None of them matter, man. They pump these things up. Oh, this huge matchup between Alabama and Louisville. Look, are you serious?
Listen.
Please stop.
Between the two of us, did we not pick the entire Final Four in college football before it started and laugh about it?
I think we did.
We laughed about it.
I think
it's a joke.
I think between the two of us, we've got them all.
Which is, again, why I'm done with recruiting. It's just, all right, this one's from Lamarcus in, am I getting this right, Laurinburg, North Carolina?
Laurinburg, yep.
Is that how you say it? This one cracked me up. Danny Ainge, I still hate him. He was a really annoying player, though. He had that whiny sort of demeanor.
He still kind of looks annoying, but he is a heck of a GM.
Well, Lamarcus is not having
Lamarcus
it. He ain't about that life.
He is not a fan.
Lamarcus is in Laurinburg right now, hating Danny Ainge. I love that. That's what popped into his head, though, of all the stuff.
Danny
Ainge.
I can give you a whole list of just random people in sports. Rain delays in baseball.
Yeah.
Why are we sitting here for like 5 hours watching it rain? Like, you send the players back into the dugout, back into the clubhouse. They sit there for hours, and then you expect them to come back out on the field and perform like normal.
They're probably exhausted by then.
Just set a time. Like, if it rains for more than an hour, we're calling the game, man.
Yeah.
Fans don't sit around. They don't sit around and watch this stuff. Yes, it's funny sometimes to watch them slide around on the tarp, but come on, man.
I get the lightning thing. I get the lightning thing,
but it throws your whole pitching rotation off because if you're out for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and you played one inning, your starter's done. It burns through your bullpen. Stop with the rain delays, man. Just pick the game up another time.
All right, I'm out of order now. I had a sort of a list of my own here, but I've jumped around a bit, so now I'm trying to make sure I haven't said them before here. How about bandwagon fans? And I'm not talking about guys like you that started pulling for the Cowboys in the 90s because they were good, because you still pull for the Cowboys.
Well, I was a child.
I'm talking about guys that I knew who, in 1997 through 2003 were really big Tampa Bay fans, but then they became Panthers fans, and then they became, dear Lord, man, if you live to be long enough, your professional football team, baseball team, maybe not basketball team, but they're going to go through periods, especially in the NFL, where they just don't play good football. They don't win. Look, your fanhood's worth nothing. But here's the terrible thing about it. Do you think, okay, just for an example, if either of the Cowboys or the Redskins, the next one of them to win a Super Bowl, I know you think that's going to be this year, but you're insane. The next
I didn't
one,
say that. I've never said that.
Oh my God! Can you imagine though how excited we will be? One of us, the other one will not be excited
Not
at all.
excited at
but you
all.
see what I'm saying? Like if let's say that I just decided to become a LA Rams fan this year, right? And I went and bought a bunch of Rams gear. Am I actually going to enjoy them winning a Super Bowl? No. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. I feel sorry for those people more than finding them annoying, but yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
I got a grievance with fantasy football.
I bet you do.
What is this?
It used to be something you loved. I think it was about 3 days ago.
What is this? What is this stupid game called fantasy football?
So dumb, man.
What is this nonsense, man? You dominate all year long.
You did.
You dominate all year long, and you reign over a league as the king.
You really
And
did,
then-
though. I'm laughing because it's true.
And then all of a sudden, Roger Goodell swoops in and kicks Kareem Hunt out of the league. And then the football gods come and twist James Conner's ankle around like he's some sort of Stretch Armstrong. And so now he's gone. What am I supposed to do with this? What is this?
And
I'm trying to cobble together a lineup for a playoff. What is this?
I'm sure it helps that you're looking at a guy who's playing in the championship game with one of the lowest scoring teams in the league.
I score like 500 more points than you, man.
Have you noticed that when teams play me, they are awful?
Yes.
Like your buddy Justin, right? He only lost 3 times. 2 of them were to me, and his point totals were half of his normal both times he played me.
Yes.
I have that ability, man. I can
aware.
bring you down to my level.
Oh, my goodness. I quit.
Don't do that.
I quit.
You'll be okay again by next August. You'll
I
be
quit.
okay.
All right, B. We're running up against the clock. Give me one more.
One more. This one's from Thomas, a friend of the show. He's got, I'm going to give you all 3. Baseball, all of them. He doesn't really watch anything else. He does not like this is his word, the television-ication of baseball. Mm-hmm. He wants you to throw the pitch outs. Do the whole thing. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care if it's television friendly. He's sick of outfielders that catch fly balls with a casual one-hander. He doesn't like that. Catch the ball the way you were taught. Okay?
He doesn't like the flash.
Doesn't like the flash.
Okay.
And Bryce Harper. Nothing about him.
He just
Just
doesn't
the
like
man
Bryce
himself.
Harper.
Does not like Bryce Harper. Wants
I think
no
Bryce-
part of him on the Atlanta Braves.
Well, first of all, if Bryce Harper is willing to come to the Atlanta Braves, I have a feeling he will change his tune.
And that was Thomas from Spartanburg, South Carolina, home of the Border War.
I have a feeling that Thomas will change his tune should Bryce Harper suit up in a Brave uniform. But I'm not holding my breath.
He might. Well, I don't think you need to hold your breath because Bryce Harper's not going to be suiting up in a Braves uniform.
No, but they are saying that they're not getting the contracts they thought they were getting now. Buster says the $400 million, that's probably not going to happen.
Anybody that pays a hitter that kind of money's out of their mind.
Last one I've got
Have
on
you
the
not
list.
seen Moneyball?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, my word.
The last one on the list is fumbling out of the end zone being a touchback. The guy's trying to make
That's a dumb rule.
He's trying to make a great play, man, and you penalize him all the way to the point of taking the ball away.
Yeah.
Put the ball at the 10 or 15. Make it a penalty. Put it at the 10 or 15 and let him go, man.
I am at 100%.
So let's just stop it. 'Cause every time
There's
it
no
happens-
logic behind it, and it is literally like the most damaging penalty in football.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy what that does to a game.
All right, guys, that is it for the Festivus episode. I feel better. I've gotten some things off
I
my
don't
chest.
feel any. I'm more
I hope
angry
you
than
do
ever.
Too. We appreciate you joining in. Thank you to everyone that participated. And I'm assuming we'll be back next week over the holidays at some point. I'm not real sure.
We'll be back.
We'll figure it out. We'll be back.
Got a
sometime.
mobile studio.